have some instructions to the people at the congregation in Ephesus. And one of the things he says, no, give place to the devil. Now, I want to ask you, why are you going, I'll take a few minutes, why are you going to not watch out for the tricks of the devil? Don't give place to the devil. Because you open up to the devil and there's no telling what could happen. And Paul instructed later on in the same letter to have on the whole armor of God. And he said, among other things, to pray. When you're going out to places, when you're going out to maybe where you're going to be with unbelievers, why don't you get prayed up? Pray for yourself along the way that you don't fall into any kind of temptation or any kind of sin that's along the way. It might be the temptation to smoke or to drink. And you might bring yourself down a little bit. You might slow yourself down in the gospel. Slow yourself down in your walk with the Lord. Have to start all over again some other place. But to understand the wiles of the devil, the tricks of the devil, when you might be among people who aren't believers, to know how to conduct yourself, how to be ready, how to outwit the devil. Now in the Tanakh, there was a man who was a man after God's own heart. He had it all so good. He'd been through much battle and everything. There was peace in his life. And you go through 10 chapters of 2 Samuel, and you see everything is going well with David finally on the throne. But one day, he doesn't watch out. And he lets himself be taken in by another man's wife. And just show you what it means. It's do not give place to the devil. All he did was one thing, and he ended up making some other man's wife pregnant and having a child. And God had to use this situation in order to chastise David. And how did David, it said, gave place to the devil? It said in 2 Samuel chapter 12, verse 14, that David had given occasion to the enemies of the Lord to blaspheme, to insult the name of God. And now that child was going to have to be lost, David was praying that the child would not be lost, but he ended up that the child died anyway because of what had happened. But I ask yourself, why don't you pray, be among other things, having all the weapons of of spiritual warfare, the whole armor of God to be prayed up. That when you're being around unbelievers, when you're in situations, dangerous situations, that you won't end up falling into the same temptation where other people end up drinking or smoking or whatever else people would do. I pray that God would keep you from areas of temptation, that you would be doing what you should be doing. David should have been on the battlefield and not hanging back at the palace. Now it's time to remember one thing. Don't give the devil an opportunity. Don't give an opportunity for the enemies of the Lord to speak against him. But always be ready. Be ready in your fight against the devil.